Hello, my viewer. I'm so much excited today for the Lord is good. So I take this opportunity to welcome you into Evangelist Mwai Ali's channel. I do not take it for granted that you have chosen to stay here. May God bless you so much. And if you're new in this channel, karibu sana. May God bless you. Please make a point or that decision of subscribing to this channel and press on that notification bell so that each and every time I put up a new video, you will be notified that there is a new video and you are able to watch. And so I am happy because I know I have stayed for a little longer without uploading this. We left at where I was giving you my story because that is what the Lord directed me to do before I tell you the new program that we are rolling out in this channel. And God told me, go and tell them your story. And that is what I'm doing. And I'm very sure that this story will touch someone somewhere outside there. And because in this channel, we inspire, that is the first thing we do. And secondly, we give hope to the hopeless. And we also want to heal the broken hearts, the paining hearts, those hearts that are very heavy. And we know that our God will take up that burden. He tells us that, come ye who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And so we know that He will surely give you rest because He is very faithful. He's not like a human being, like He says something and He never fulfills. He is a God, a faithful one in that matter. And I know He will fulfill what He has promised to do. Wow. Connecting with nature. I'm somewhere outside and I'm happy. So there is a word that I want us to share with you. I want to share with you in Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 20 and 21, because this scripture has really encouraged me. And it says, from the fruit of their mouth, a person's stomach is filled. From the fruit of your mouth, your stomach will be filled. So whatever you speak, it settles down in your stomach, in your mind. And with the harvest of their lips, they are satisfied. Oh, yes. Whatever you speak, it settles down in you. And from it, from whatever you speak, all right, you are satisfied. Are you satisfied with the words that comes out of your mouth? All right. And verse 21 says, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruits. The tongue has the power of life and death. So what do you speak? What comes out of your mouth? Because whatever comes out of your mouth has power either to make you or to break you. Praise the living God. Whatever comes out of your mouth has power over you. It speaks over you. And whatever a man thinketh, so you are. And I asked myself, what comes out of my mouth? What do I digest? What do I get into myself? What do I listen to? And in return, what do I give out? What is my output in terms of the words that I speak? Do they bless me? Do they bring blessings into my life, or do they bring curses into my life? And so I pray that God will help us. And I decided that I will be calling myself positive names. I'll be proclaiming positive things in my life. And so we can join together, be proclaiming positive things upon your life. Because if you do not love yourself, no one will. And so I really thank God for this far, because I have come from far. I knew there was a time that I wouldn't even laugh without hiding my mouth, because I believed that I was the most ugly child in this world. I believed I was the most, or the ugliest daughter in this world. But I thank God, he helped me that I have arrived at such a point that I can love myself and I love who I am. I know I am beautiful, I am wonderfully made, and I have no apology for that. So, yes, back to our story. All right. Niliacha mahali we went back to school, and it's very important for you, for me to tell you that this is 2003 when Kibaki came into reign, and I am the second last in a family of 7. And so when we were going back to school, we were just the two of us, the last two, my brother and I. The others had dropped out of school in different classes. I remember our second born dropped out at class 7 because of watching my mom struggle so much with us. So he dropped out and he went to look for a job. He was employed as a shepherd. And but my eldest sister completed a class 8, went up to class 8, and she completed. Though she did not get the best marks because she was in and out of school, but she completed class 8 and she was not able to go beyond there. And so these others, except one who had completed her education, and that is up to class 8, all others dropped out of school. And that trend had caught us up also, because remember I told you we had dropped out of school at some point. But thank God, who is God? He made sure that Kibaki came into reign, and we went back to school, my younger brother and I. And so I went back to class 5. And I remember when I went back, it's like I was teaching myself how to write once again. It's like I was starting from scratch, because 5 years out of school, because I remember also there was a year that was 1999. We were not in school per se. The best part of that year we were out of school. And now 2000, we were out completely and we had no hope of going back. But thank God, in 2003, I went back to class 5, and so much in grade because of the CBC. And so after going back in grade 5 and starting afresh, it's like I was even teaching myself. I had even forgotten how to write well. So yeah, but I caught up with the others. And I remember we went on well. However, there was one problem. Remember I told you that we were brewing Changa and Busa. Makiu, the primary school I went to, was just adjacent to my home. So like you could see how the children are playing. You could see a teacher walking from the staff room to the restrooms. So it was just next to my home. And so you can imagine, because this business of brewing changa and selling it, brewing busa and selling it, was illegal. So there was a lot of commotion with the askaris. They would come at home, arrest my mom sometimes, go with her with no hope of whether she would come back or not. But thank God, most of the times she went and came back. Of course, whatever happens in Kenya, you unatoa kitu kidogo and you are released. And it helped at that particular time, because imagine if she got locked up, we would be so much helpless, because we didn't have anyone else to look up to. And you remember that brother of my dad that I told you, who joined us in somewhere in the middle of our journey, and we were at war each and every time. And so if I can imagine if my mom was locked up, what would happen to us without her? Because my mom has been an anchor. She has been a pillar, and she has been very strong. She has stood with us. She has fought so hard for us to be in that piece of land. And yeah, we went on well, but this brewing of changa really affected me, because when when the soldiers came, the askaris came, wakikuja, and I remember I was sitting nearby a window. And so when this commotion came about, all the other learners came to where I was sitting to watch and see whatever was happening. So you can imagine how embarrassed I felt, because we are watching, all of us, whatever is happening, but it is happening in my home. So we would see the askaris wakitoboa hizo nini drums, wanazitoboa. Yani it was drama, like day in day out. If it is not within this week, the following week kulikuwa na drama. Yani hakukuwa kunakosa drama home. And it affected me so bad, because I remember my esteem ilishuka from the small esteem that I had, because anyway it wasn't so high. The small esteem I had ilishuka to zero, kama ilibaki labda 0.001, because I remember I even at grade 6 I separated myself from others. I remember at least in grade 5 we would go out, play with the others, the kati and all. And I remember in class 6, I separated myself completely from others. So they would go and play. I used to sleep somewhere outside in class 6, just alone. I didn't want even lunch. I think lunch, there are two other girls that joined me during lunch. And this continued. And my esteem was also affected by the fact that now I have gone back to class 5. Remember, those that we were with when I dropped out of school. When I went back, I think they were in class. Actually, they were in Form 1, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think they were in Form 1 or something. Yes, they were in Form 1, either Form 1 or 2 there. I think so. So when I'm coming back, I'm meeting new faces, but we blended well. And in the same grade, I remember that is when I got my periods. Hey, apart from the circus and the chaos that were going on at home, this also affected me big time, because we were not so much open with my mom. Remember, she's the only sole breadwinner. She's the sole breadwinner. And so she did not have time for us. In the morning, she's out. By the time she's back, she's there to prepare the supper. And I remember before she went out, she would always prepare for us lunch. So we would go for lunch. She has always been a hard-working lady, and I admire her. I admire that about my mom. And so this affected me because remember, I cannot open up to my mom. And at grade 5, at class 5, if you remember, this education about the menstrual periods and all that was being taught in class 6. But I remember there was a cousin of mine who had received hers before me, so she had updated me about it. And when I got that, I cannot open up to my mom because we are not very close, and I did not open up to anyone. But I remember because of the crumbs she came to know. And even if she knew, it's not like something that like we would sit down and discuss. No. But it really affected me because sorry for another day. But whatever I used really embarrassed me. And I remember I used to go to ask for permission from a madam teacher who was in charge of that. Who she was also in charge of a library that we had in school. And that also contributed to my esteem kushuka. All right. And so this continued from grade 5, from class 5 to 6 to 7, and in class 8. When I was in class 7, this separating myself from the others escalated to an extent that they would go out for break. They are outside playing, and I would not even go out. I only went out for short calls or long calls, and then I came back to class. And guess what I was doing? I was studying. All right, it was to my advantage. At somehow to my advantage because I used to study a lot and it really helped me. But on the other side, it interfered with my socialization. My socialization skills were very poor. And from that time up to now, my socialization skills are not really good. But I really thank God along the way, I came to at least improve on that. And so that continued. So now from grade 7 to class 7 to class 8, that was me. The others are outside playing during the breaks. I'm in the class studying or doing whatever work that the teacher has given out. And I completed class 8. And as usual, remember I had dropped out of school and I had been employed as a house help. So in my mindset, I started by telling you, whatever you think, so you are. So in my mindset, in my mind, I thought I'm already done with class 8. So I'm going back to being a house help because when I looked at my surroundings, yani kitu chochote tu kilikuwa around me was speaking so loudly to me. My cousins, my uncles, yani our environment tu, hata nyumba yenyewe tu, because when I was doing this, nikikosa kwenda hizi breaks and all that, it was because in the evening kwetu kulikuwa na taa moja ya kibatari kagwatera kana kanyitera hali ya makoi, taa moja tu, and it is being relied on. Sasa wenye tunatumia hiyo taa moja kupikia, kufanya nini, so and the kitchen was not in the same room with the although it was in the same house. Our house was had 3 rooms, moja ya katikati, moja ile side na moja hii side. So in one of the rooms kwenye my sisters were sleeping, that is where we had a kitchen. Tulikuwa tumegawanya kwenye wanalala na kitchen. And so hiyo taa iko huko, so you cannot rely on it from the other side. So mimi, that is why I used to study at least during wengine wakienda nje. I used to make to take advantage of every other time or minute I got in school, that is. And so nimemaliza class 8 na sina hopes za kuendelea, so I thought maybe nitatafutiwa tu kazi ya nyumba and I go kama kawaida tu vile nilikuwa nimefanya previously. And so mi nilifanya, I did my exam and I went. And I remember those days, on 28th was a big day for the ones who had done class 8, because that is when the results were being released, on 28th of December. And one of the teachers, she used to teach me English. Actually, her and her husband taught me English. They taught me English and Kiswahili at some point, but at class 8, she was teaching me English. And she called me. They knew our situation. We didn't even have phones. Tulikuwa tunatoa wapi simu at that particular time. And I remember she called me, tukatuma ile SMS, and it brought the results back, and she was really happy because I had done pretty well in her subject. But now maybe I was wondering, why is she happy? Because anyway, whether I do well or I don't, I couldn't continue with my education, and I knew that because we could not afford. So I remember that year, when I got into class 8, there was a new class head teacher that came, and that head teacher knew us very well, and he was very good to me. He was very good to us. And I remember they came together with other teachers, and he sampled a few people from the village, and they fundraised behind our backs. I didn't even know. They fundraised, and I would like to say this, Mr. Nyaga, wherever you are, may God bless you so much, because if it was not for you, I remember there was him, Mr. Nyaga, there was Mr. Zoita, there was Mr. Mungai, there was Mr. and Mrs. Wainaina, Mr. Maina, and by then was Mrs. Cato there? I think she was there. May her soul rest in peace. And they organized and they fundraised, and whatever they got, it was enough for me to be bought one pair of uniform